Now, I'm not going to get too sciencey today. This episode is going to be more of a pep talk because I know that whenever we take on a new journey, there are moments of discouragement. There's overwhelm, there's fear, there's disappointment, there's confusion, there's moments when we feel hopeless. And a lot of times, this is when people tend to give up. And you become hard on yourselves and you start to sabotage your progress when you experience these moments. First, I want to acknowledge that it's okay to feel that way. It's just not okay to stay there. In the past, you may have tried to avoid it, or when you encountered it, you made that a reason to stop what you're doing or go back to where you started. But just know that discouragement and these feelings that go along with it is a part of the journey, and you can't avoid it. So in order to heal, you must learn to move through it. First and foremost, I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in week after week. In my first 12 episodes, I have covered quite a bit of information. I discussed various topics such as how to mentally prepare for your healing journey and what to expect, how to be honest with where you are and where you want to go in regards to your health and weight loss goals, how the body is capable of healing itself under the right conditions. I talked about thinking outside the box and understanding how and why we can't fix a problem with the same mindset that created it. And I've also shared various tips and strategies to successful weight loss. And I love receiving all your comments and feedback. Some of you have shared that you were able to see yourself in my story. Many of you have even started applying some of the action steps I shared, such as keeping a food journal, beginning intermittent fasting, or reducing your sugar intake. And a lot of you even love the physiology. I even had a listener tell me to keep nerding out with the science. So I do appreciate all you other cool nerds out there. So if you missed any of the episodes, I encourage you to listen to them and let me know what you think. Now, I'm not going to get too sciencey today. This episode is going to be more of a pep talk because I know that whenever we take on a new journey, there are moments of discouragement. There's overwhelm, there's fear, there's disappointment, there's confusion, there's moments when we feel hopeless. And a lot of times, this is when people tend to give up. And you become hard on yourselves and you start to sabotage your progress when you experience these moments. First, I want to acknowledge that it's okay to feel that way. It's just not okay to stay there. In the past, you may have tried to avoid it, or when you encountered it, you made that a reason to stop what you're doing or go back to where you started. But just know that discouragement and these feelings that go along with it is a part of the journey, and you can't avoid it. So in order to heal, you must learn to move through it. Because I get it, I've been there. And when you're in this state, you lose confidence and you begin to focus more on your failures and what should have or could have been. But just know that the biggest part of whether you succeed or fail is how you handle these very strong emotions, because we all experience discouragement when our expectations aren't being met. It's frustrating when the weight you wanted to lose isn't lost. You didn't get that promotion you wanted. You couldn't get that business started. The marriage or the relationship just didn't work out. It's all a part of life. It's going to happen. But it's what you do with those disappointments that matter. But what happens is we eventually become our own worst enemies after facing disappointment after disappointment. And all these thoughts start to get in our head and we start to believe that we're not good enough, not pretty enough, not smart enough, or we're too old, or we start making excuses such as, I don't have the time or the money or the experience. But first, in order to heal and to move from this, we have to learn to become aware of our thoughts and start to take responsibility of those actions based on those thoughts. We first got to acknowledge those voices in our heads and what they are telling us, because our beliefs direct our choices, behaviors, and actions. It's these negative beliefs that prevent us from achieving more freedom in our lives. So these examples that I listed earlier, not being good enough, not smart enough, or being too old. These are self-limiting beliefs, and they love to make their way in your mind, especially when you decide to make positive changes in your life. These negative beliefs are old programs that control your mind. They could have been planted in you in childhood or after you kept making mistake after mistake. But once you realize this, just know that you can change these old programs. But in order to do that, you have to become aware of what you're thinking about. And you'll be surprised at what you tell yourself daily. We got to start monitoring our thoughts daily and replace these thoughts with more supportive thoughts, because what we feed our minds is as important, if not more important, than what we feed our bodies. So we have to learn to feed ourselves words of encouragement, faith, love, and grace. It's very natural to have the desire to return to your old habits because they are more comfortable. That's human nature and something we will always fight with. But the good news is that you can train your mind to think differently. And when you think differently, you start to act differently. But I don't want you to confuse your struggles with failure. Sometimes the beginning of success looked like a complete mess. But success comes from putting that mess together and becoming who you want to be. We got to learn to look at our struggles as a test, a chance to assess and reevaluate and develop those physical, mental, and spiritual muscles. So instead of giving up every time things get rough, this is the time to reflect on why it's occurring and learning how you can get through it the best way you can. For me, many of my disappointments have come from giving up too soon. But most of my successful moments came after I had gone through the challenge or the struggle. And sometimes what I saw on the other side of the struggle was much better than what I could have ever imagined. And I found this state to be where I learned the most about my health and what I'm capable of. And now I even welcome challenges. I take them on knowing that something rewarding is going to be on the other side. And when I come out of those low points, I become more resilient and more confident. Trials are going to come when least expected, but you need to be ready for them. And remember to love yourself throughout the process. So this is the biggest thing that keeps people from achieving their goals. They keep giving up whenever they feel discouraged. The good news is that you don't have to go through this alone. There's so many resources out there that can help you get closer to success and experience personal growth in the process. This is why I encourage you to not be afraid to reach out to like-minded individuals who can support you, people you can talk to and bounce around ideas with. And with that said, I am very excited to announce one of the new projects that I've been working on. And as we speak, it's still being developed. And I decided to do this because I figured that this is the best way to build a community of like-minded individuals and supporters, and also learn more about how I can help you in your journey. That's why I created the Heal Deal Patron program. Let me briefly describe how this is going to go. Now, there's going to be 3 levels to this program, so here they are. The first tier is a $5 per month level. So as long as you're a member at this level, you'll get to submit your questions and also request topic ideas for future podcast episodes. Now, at the $10 level, you'll get the same benefits of the $5 level, plus recordings of the breakthrough coaching sessions. To attend live, you have to contribute at the $15 level. So again, at the $10 level, you're going to get access to these recordings, but at the $15 level, you'll get to attend these sessions live. And when you attend live, you'll get your questions answered on the spot, and you'll also get to mingle with other members of the community who are like-minded and want to support you. And I'll also get to interact with you and get to know you better and help you more with the resources and tools that'll help you get to that next level of healing. When you become one of my earliest members, you'll get to play a role in the direction that this membership will go into. To encourage you to join, the first 25 people that sign up will receive a free copy of my first book, A Journey to Healing. And I want you to have this as a way of saying thank you for becoming a member and supporting the podcast. So again, this is a new project. I've never done anything like this before, but I know I'm going to learn and evolve as it grows. And it's also going to be your support and input that's going to make this happen. Other benefits of becoming a patron member are access to exclusive content. I'll be doing behind the scenes type videos, special live videos, things of that sort. So I hope to see you there. And here are some other ways that you can get support on your journey. When you're feeling discouraged and you don't know what to do or where to go, another resource I have for you is the breakthrough call. You can schedule a one-on-one breakthrough call with me. This call is 45 minutes and it does cost $47 to book. But this is more of a personal touch. It's a personal call where we can discuss where you are and where you want to be in your healing journey. Now, I have a very limited number of calls that I do each week because I do run a busy practice as well. So my time is very limited for these calls. But I do block out a number of calls each week, and it is a good opportunity if you want a personal consultation. I also provide one-on-one health coaching programs. So these breakthrough calls is an opportunity to get to know more about these programs and if this is a good fit for you. And I see people in person in my office, and I also coach people virtually as well. Okay, so we got the patron page and we have the breakthrough call. And let me quickly share a couple of other resources I have. I have a couple of online mini courses that are available, and I have more in the works. I have a course on hidden sugars, and a second course that I have available is on processed foods. And then there's a third course that should be ready real soon, and this one will be on synthetic supplements. And another project that I'm working on is a cookbook that is almost finished. So again, if you're part of the community, you'll be the first to know when these things become available. All right? So I wanted to share that with you because these are the types of things that keep you motivated and moving forward, even when you're confused or discouraged or overwhelmed. And I'm trying to create these tools and strategies that you can refer to when you get to feeling that way. So once again, be sure to check out the show notes for access to this information that I just discussed. This information not only has helped me in my life, but it has helped the majority of my clients as well. I call it the Heal Deal for a reason, because this is the stuff that really works by using natural laws to get you well. My purpose for creating these things is to help you transform your life and give you the motivation and information that you need to move forward. And it will be hard sometimes, but knowing that you have the tools and strategies to get over it is what gives you the confidence. So instead of trying to avoid these struggles, you'll be actually looking forward to it because you'll know that when you get to the other side of that challenge, you're a different person. And then you become qualified to lead and help others. I want as many people as possible to get beyond this stage and start to experience the health and wellness that they've been looking for. Let me share a little bit more about discouragement. It's what you experience because you are so anxious to succeed in this endeavor. And it means a lot to you. You are tired of being tired, and I get it. But you got to use this feeling to move you forward, not hold you back. One of the biggest mistakes many of us make is failing to reach out or being willing to admit that we're struggling because we're ashamed. But admitting your setbacks is a very powerful move and is one of the first steps to healing. Take a moment to see how far you've come and appreciate what it took for you to get there. You had a certain amount of strength to get to where you are today. But when those feelings of discouragement start to creep back in your mind, stay strong. Stay on that course of action. Don't give up. Be patient with the process. You will get stronger as you go, I promise. Discouragement is not permanent, and don't make it a reason to give up because your breakthrough may be right around the corner. Now, take a deep breath. Just inhale, exhale. Now give yourself a big hug. You know you got this. Well, that is it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and if this impacted you in any way, share this with a friend. And I look forward to meeting you real soon on the Heal Deal Patron page. Until next time, go out there and achieve more freedom in your health and your life. Take care.